2. Gophers let this one slip away. Multiple special teams miscues tonight on the road, West Coast in Cal. Final score 27-14. Thanks for staying up late with us. Got your all-instant reaction coming up next. Golden Gophers POSTCAST.
You are Locked On Golden Gophers POSTCAST, part of Locked On Minnesota on the Locked On Podcast Network. Your team every day.
What's going on? Back in the lab, back at it. It's a late one, but we got another Golden Gophers POSTCAST right here, Locked On Sports Minnesota Network. Your team every day. Luke Inman at Luke_Spinman. Got my main man, Ron Johnson, Gophers Hall of Famer. Give him a follow on X at 3 Ron Johnson. Got to check him out each and every Tuesday, by the way, on the Ron Johnson Show right here, Locked On Sports Minnesota YouTube page and wherever you find your podcast. Lots to get into. Biggest turning point from tonight. Did the Gophers find their maybe new wide receiver 1 for Drake Lindsey? Which player's stock is pointed up? And maybe a quick little preview versus Rutgers after the bye week as well. Ron, before we get into the biggest turning point from tonight, I always like to start with you. Team stats, 8 penalties, 85 yards, losing the turnover battle by 2. That's obviously never a recipe for success, but especially for the Gophers, man. They've been elite in the penalty department lately. You're on the West Coast, though, against this freshman phenom at quarterback. Just very little room for error tonight, and it felt like they gave Cal too much tonight.
Yeah, and if you look at the tail of the tape, 340 total yards to 335. The Cal took the edge in the passing game, 279 to 205. The rushing, without Darius Taylor, you would assume the rushing, but Cal's a passing team. They go. I did a breakdown in the pregame show today, and that was what I did. They go empty a lot. They utilize the slot receivers a ton, and they try to put the pressure on those safeties. And it worked. I mean, this guy is legit. Like you can say whatever you want about Cal, but you just make sure you say their quarterback is legit, and that's Sangapu Latele.
Nailed it.
He is legit. And so first downs, Gophers 20 to their 18, pretty similar. Third down, the Gophers actually converted 8 of 15. But you're right, the turnovers. When you go all the way down, and if you lose the turnover battle, PJ talks about the ball as the program. Because even time of possession, the Gophers 33-55 to the Cal's 26-05. So all the metrics point towards Cal or towards the Gophers. You're like, hey man, the Gophers with this like time of possession, this probably is their game. And then you go to the turnovers. That's where they had them. I mean, that the ill-advised interception. And again, when I saw that first interception, I'm like, could LeMahieu Brockington have kept pushing out, and broke that ball up? It felt like he kind of gave up a little bit on the play. Just keep running out of bounds. You should run out of bounds. You should never slow down if you're the main receiver in this. And so I don't know how much of that is on LeMahieu Brockington. I don't know how much of that is on Drake Lindsey staring him down before he throws it. But you got that one, and then the one you're going to talk about, the Coy Parrish turnover. And that's not the only thing. I mean, there was a lot of things in this game that you felt like, Coy Parrish just really wanted to put the team on his shoulders at points.
Yeah.
But, catching it within the 5-yard line, the punt, he caught one inside the 5. And you're like, that's the one. And the punter was good. I mean, he got out the way on one, and they downed it at the 3. Like, their punter was good. But, yeah, just catching at the 5. There's some things where you gotta try to, maneuver and be a decoy as much as possible and let the punt go into the end zone.
Perfect segue. Learning moment for sure for him, but let's get into our biggest turning point from
Time to reveal where the game was won or lost. It's the turning point.
So again, you just talked about a good segue here. You're down 3. Fourth quarter, defense makes a stop for you. Cal punting to Coy Parrish, makes that cardinal sin, trying to make a play, trying to put the team on his back, like you said, trying to scoop it up inside the 5. It boots off his hands right into a Cal defender, and they go score 3 plays later. They go up 10. That felt like the turning point, Ron. But you tell me, biggest turning point tonight, when was it and why?
Yeah, that was one. I would say that is probably the main one. Another one just to throw out there is the Coy Parrish trick play. Instead of running the ball there, trying to continue to make it second and short, third and short. The trick play there, and he loses, I don't know how many yards he lost, because instead of just going down or running forward.
Like 16. I want to say it was 2nd and 26 or something.
Yeah, he ran backwards. And again, I could coach all day, but I remember I had as a sophomore, Against Penn State, 1999. I had a double reverse pass play where I probably should have thrown the ball. Now, I wasn't down, even though they blew the whistle down. If we were to go back to instant replay, my knee never actually touched. But, back then there was none, so they blew the whistle. I think it was like a minus 20 or something, or minus 11 for myself going backwards because I got free. I was free. And if they had not blown it, then I was out the gate because I had got out of it and I was still running and they're blowing the whistle and I'm looking around like, what? So I've had that negative play before. It didn't hurt us though. We ended up still coming back and beating Penn State in 1999. I'm not going to say that play hurt the Gophers, but it was a turning point where it felt like the Gophers offense was moving at that point and they just got a little too cute. Like your offensive line is 330 pounds across the board. Just keep pounding the ball and just keep it's like one of those prize fights where you just got to keep punching and punching and punching and punching, and then eventually you're going to win, but you're going to take your lumps and it's not going to look like you're winning this fight. I think that could have been one of those moments too. Just keep pushing forward. Don't give them any hype and plays, and the interception going backwards there. And then, the Coy Parrish fumble, of course, is probably the biggest one because the score changed drastically.
This is what you'll be talking about.
All right, what we'll be talking about tomorrow morning and throughout the week as we watch this one unfold. Obviously, again, special teams blunders, that's the A topic. Coy Parrish, the missed field goal as well, that would have put you within striking distance, it felt like, later in that game. But what's your number one top takeaway that we should be talking about with the Golden Gophers now after tonight?
Man, I'm going to give it to, I like LeMahieu Brockington's game. Other than that interception that, is not truly his fault, but, as receiver, if you stop running the route a little bit, kind of goes on you. But LeMahieu Brockington having, a 100-yard game all year, we were talking about who was going to be the guy. And it's right now, it's still nobody. There's not one receiver that stepped up. Now, one game of 100 yards, great. Can you do it 2? Can you do it 3? Can you do it, can you do an 80-yard game after this or 90-yard game? He's a freak athlete. He's he was on that college football's 101 freakiest or 15 freakiest players because of his metrics. So can he be that guy for Drake Lindsey? Because he needs one. These receivers, somebody's got to be able to make a play. He's got to know at the end of the day if he's back and he's, on that back foot, can I step and just throw it to somebody? Somebody going to be there. And maybe it's LeMahieu Brockington because it feels like the last 2 games has been different guys. Cal definitely was a better team than the first 2. So usually against the better teams, you seem to see, the cream rises to the top. And so cream of the crop rises to the top. And, maybe it's LeMahieu Brockington when it's serious and gets tough.
Definitely a putting his hat in the ring for sure. Drake Lindsey needs a dude. He needs that number 1 guy. Daniel Jackson obviously gone. He needs a guy. LeMahieu Brockington, 7 catches, over 100 yards. Definitely made a case for that today. Gophers outrushed Cal by 70 yards, and it just got me thinking. The running game without Darius Taylor, by and large, I thought was rock solid. They did only average 3.5 yards per carry, but neither of these teams really ran the ball super efficiently. But obviously, you love to see that depth back there, Ron. As the Gophers, by the way, this program just continues to churn out great running backs year after year. But my question for you, chicken or the egg tonight? Because I thought that offensive line, which you and I both had some question marks, just what it was all going to look like going into the year. I thought that O-line, especially in the second half, was bodying some people up front. I came away very impressed tonight and kind of awfully encouraged, I guess, about what this entire offense, I guess, could look like if they all get clicking on the same page. O-line, running game, passing game.
Yeah, the O-line looked really good. They are. We heard it on the broadcast numerous times. They're big, 330 pounds across the board. That's a big line, even for the NFL. If you go across some NFL lines and do the math, their centers are not 330, their guards are not always 330. Maybe their tackles are, but for the Gophers to go across the board, it's a big team. And so, I think Fame and Cameron Davis, AJ Turner, I thought he was going to have the bigger game, but Fame and Cameron Davis continue to show that they deserve to be out there. And Cameron Davis, he's a these guys are not like rookies. These are not freshmen. These are him and AJ Turner, Cameron Davis and AJ Turner are transfers and guys that have played big time ball before. And so it showed up. But yeah, they've always been able to run the ball. That's never been the question. Darius Taylor being out, I think the missing was like his vision, but also his ability in the passing game. Darius Taylor in the passing game out the backfield, like it felt like he's a bigger threat, and they use him a little bit more than what they did today. And so maybe that was missing a little bit too, was that additional receiving threat out the backfield.
Yeah, I was going to ask you actually how Ajobi's game complemented Darius Taylor and Cam Davis, but I think, we circled all the way back around. Darius Taylor is the one that gives you that passing game element. All three, though, really look efficient on the ground for sure. Tell me whose stock is pointing up after tonight. And we touched on three winners, Lemeki Brockington, Ajobi, the running game, and the offensive line. But if I made you pick one, where's the individual win, I guess we can find? Who's the guy kind of building some momentum and kind of sticking out in a good way after tonight?
Yeah, I'm going to go Fame. Like that big run, I think that early run was the one that kind of showed everybody like, okay. And honestly, I thought like if they
were backed up in their own end.
Yeah. And he broke off a big one. Like that's the one where I was like, if they don't have some of the issues, this interception, the fumble, if they don't have those, I feel like this is a game where I'm like, I thought they were going to win this game. Like I thought it was going to be close. I kind of said that. I saw a guy today right after the pregame show this morning, so it's probably around noon, and because we went 9 to 10 this morning, and right around noon I saw somebody and he asked me like what I thought, and I said, he's like, who'd you pick? I said, well, I picked Cal. Like I picked Cal's offense. I felt like they had a better offense than the Gophers, just from the quarterback, being able to get the ball out of his hands quick and weapons because of how they run their offense. And the whole world got to see it tonight. Like the kid can throw the ball, and that's why I picked him. And so I said it was going to be a back and forth, but if the Gophers couldn't find a way to stop him, Sanga Pulatele, if you don't stop him and slow him down, you're in trouble, and the Gophers couldn't. But yeah, I'd say I gotta go with Fame. Like I feel like he, the 85 yards felt more like 100 plus, just with some of the explosives.
It makes you feel good too, sleeping a little bit easier at night. I don't know, they didn't win, but I'm just thinking about the long haul of a long season. It's a grind. Darius Taylor obviously has had some injury concerns, and if he's going to miss any more time, just knowing you got Fame back there, just helps you sleep a little bit easier at night for sure. Don't go anywhere. Quick little preview: Rutgers game after the bye next week. That's all coming up right after this. Quick reminder, tonight's episode brought to you by FanDuel. The NFL season, it's here. FanDuel is making sure you're ready for kickoff with this can't-miss offer. Right now, new customers, you bet just $5. If your bet wins, you're getting $300 in bonus bets to use across the app. Why I love FanDuel, they got everything, man. Player props, same-game parlay, or even if you're jumping in live as the action unfolds, you name it, they got it. So quick, so easy, and it's the best way to add a little enthusiasm to your Sundays. You ready to play? Download the FanDuel app. Visit FanDuel.com to get started. That's FanDuel.com to get $300 in bonus bets guaranteed when you win your first $5 wager. All right, before we talk Rutgers here, real quick, Drake Lindsey, 3-game sample size now, 19 for 32, 205, one tug, one pick. What are we learning about this young man after this game? I guess now that we can add this one to his resume, like you get a week off here, but what are we talking about as far as Drake Lindsey so far in this small sample size?
I mean, we know he can spin the ball. Like the kid can spin it. He throws the ball well. It comes off of his hands quick. He does a really good job reading. I'd say, even layered throws, I know Sam and I talked about that before, like his ability to layer throws and put them in there. I talked about on the pregame show about that as well. Gophers have no offensive creativity, from the chat. I'd say that's probably part of it. Like to me, and it's not, here's the thing. It's not offensive creativity because they are creative. They're trying stuff. I think it needs to be creativity towards Drake Lindsey, meaning you saw what Cal just did. I don't know if the Gophers have 5 receivers like that, but do that. Spread everybody out. let him sit back and pick them apart. If they, if they don't do it, let them move a little bit. If it's there, run the ball, get you 5 or 10 yards, come back, run the next play. Like, I feel like Drake Lindsey has the ability to be a 5-wide type of, like, if you put him in that Cal offense, I think he has similar success. Like, I think he has the same look. Like, he throws the ball just as well. It comes off his hand just as well. So for me, that's what I saw. I saw a kid that can throw the ball. He's not shy of making the big throw. He's just got to know every ball you can't fit in a certain holes. And, eventually and that comes with age. We keep forgetting he's not a freshman, but this is his first, third game starting in the Big Ten. So, he played a little bit, but this is a big difference when you're the guy. So he's just learning. He's learning. And it just sucks that he didn't get a win in this one. And, it was close for most of the game.
Valuable reps, no matter you win or lose, valuable reps for this young man. Again, as he tries to, kind of put the team on his back without their best offensive player, Darius Taylor, without a true number one weapon in the passing game as well. Last one here for you, then we'll get out of here. So you get a week off now to rest up, a little bye week, and prepare and watch the film. What's the number one thing you think PJ and the coaching staff are going to be talking about when they turn on this tape and they start to prep for Rutgers September 27th?
Yeah, so I think, the positives, Drake Lindsey, again, throws a nice ball. Like, the guys are making plays. Defensively, I'd say so. Offensively, I think they're fine. I think there's some little things here and there that need to be fixed, some calls that probably need to be made. You can tell PJ was a little frustrated with some of the calls. Defensively, if the ball is in the air, you guys got to, find the ball. Like, there's a lot of balls that, were just bad throws that weren't completed. But almost every ball that was near the receivers was caught tonight. And I think that's going to be a big takeaway for him is how do we break these balls up? How do you guys play through their hands? I mean, that's what they're taught. You saw John Nestor do it a couple of times, but it wasn't close. So you didn't get to see if it actually was going to work. And it'll come down to, is Rutgers making these plays or is Cal's receivers really just as good as they are? Because that one up the middle where it's kind of like an over route and it looked like a bad throw and he was in between 3 guys, turned his back and caught it going back, falling backwards, but caught it diving. And you're like, what? Who was that to? And so, and you just wonder with all 3 of those DBs, how did nobody stick their hand out and knock it down? How did nobody, out of the 3 of you, somebody should have been able to play the ball forward. It was 2 guys were in the same exact spot. So either that was a blown coverage or somebody was in the wrong spot or something, because there's no way 3 guys should be around a guy and he still makes a big catch like that. So that's what I think. PJ's going to watch the film probably and talk to the guys about, man, they're going to be kicking themselves because there's a lot of plays that they probably could have made that weren't made. I think defensively getting after the quarterback, they did a great job as much as possible. He just is really good at evading the pocket. And again, he has that Michael Penix kind of lefty run, move, throw where it's just super comfortable. He never looks rushed. He's super smooth with it. So, 2 nights back to back, we're getting a smooth lefty, tonight, and then we'll be right back at it again tomorrow night, which it doesn't even feel it feels really weird that we're about to go to sleep and then I got to get right back up and do the pregame show for the Vikings.
The grind never stops for you, man.
At 10 a.m. And then we're back at it again at 7 p.m. for another late one. So, yeah, I'm going to have some, I got to make sure I get some tea or something because, man, yeah.
Well, we better get you off to bed. Gophers watch this one slip away. Special teams blunders cost them at the end. They drop. They fall to 2-1 on the year after this loss to Cal, 27-14 on the West Coast. Huge shout out to all you guys, all the everydayers out there that always make us your first listen. All you guys coming in the chat with us from game to game, staying up late with us on this one. Make sure you like and subscribe and go check out all of Ron's great work on X at 3Ron Johnson, plus all the stuff he's always putting up over on the Ron Johnson Show each and every Tuesday. Just had an interview with Will Johnson, cornerback from Michigan, drafted to the Arizona Cardinals. Can't wait to go check that out as well. Bye week next, then it's Rutgers on September 27th. Kickoff still TBD. But until then, Scott Umont, go Gophers. Sign it out.